What do Romanians think about the Tate arrest? Guilty or the Matrix? Now, this kind of intrigued me because when I started the video, I watched like the first, I want to say like 3 minutes, something like that. It kind of gave me even more realization into what the problem with a lot of people are when it comes down to certain things. And I won't say more than that. We'll go ahead and watch this video real quick. 11 minutes? Okay. I want to see all these people's different perspectives on this situation. If you guys don't know, and you've been living under a rock, most people know this already, especially if you watch YouTube by any means or any other social media outlet for it, by that. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are in jail. They have been in jail, I don't know, it's been a couple weeks now, I believe. They have a 30-day hold on them at this point in time. And what's happening is that the Romanian authorities are looking for evidence to say whether or not they are guilty of certain crimes including the sex trafficking sort of situation of women. Now, we watched the video, 2 weeks ago or something like that, where I kind of spoke about what they had as far as, again, evidence, where a lot of people are saying there is none of this is actual evidence. And I can understand why they're saying that. And I can understand the other point of view where it could potentially be evidence. All right. I'm not here saying whether they did it or not, but let's go ahead and get these people's opinions. These two guys, I guess, are just walking around, I think they're in Bucharest, in fact, and asking the question.
It's actually the metrics attacking them.
Andrew Tate, I think he's like pretty sexist.
Tate Brothers, big W.
Imprisonment it, and also subscribe for further content. Let's go! What do you think of the imprisonment of Andrew and Tristan Tate?
It's a very good thing. I mean, if a guy is to blame for something, I mean, it's welcomed. I mean, the imprisonment doesn't mean that he's convicted of something. I mean, he's imprisoned, there's going to be a trial, and we're going to see. I mean, we have to trust in justice, like our president says.
Wait. But wait a minute. How do you say something's a really good thing for someone to be imprisoned and you don't even know that they did anything? And then you say we have to trust in justice. And the thing about justice, the idea is that you're innocent until proven guilty, which is why it kind of baffles me in certain instances where people are put in jail or put in prison prior to typically you're not put in prison, but you're put in jail prior to any actual conviction or any real evidence to show to you potentially even being convicted. Like that's the problem with that. But to make the statement, it's a good thing that they're in jail and then kind of shoot yourself in the foot by the statements you make thereafter. It's asinine. I don't know.
What do you guys think of the imprisonment of the Tate brothers?
Very good. I like it.
Why do you like it?
Because they deserve it.
You think they did what they did?
I think that they are not showing the people enough. The police knows, but they are not showing to the audience.
What do you think of the imprisonment of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate?
It's wrong that he's being imprisoned for nothing. He is the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! That man was an NPC. It is wrong that he is imprisoned for nothing. He is the GOAT. Like, I get it. The language barrier, everything else like that. But for real, that man came off as a straight NPC. He said it with zero emotion.
What do you guys think of the imprisonment of the Tate brothers?
I mean, it's a good thing. Because
Why?
he's a bad person.
I think it's true what they say about him.
Yeah.
What about you?
He's cool. He has a Bugatti.
He has a Bugatti, he's cool.
He's cool. He has a Bugatti. I mean, I would have liked to have seen him ask, "Do you know what he's being charged of?" First off, prior to let after they answer in the way that they answer. But he's cool. He has a Bugatti. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so we should remove him from prison for that then.
We could keep his Bugatti.
They're
while
already
he's
doing
in
that
prison.
currently.
What?
Yeah.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What do you think of the imprisonment of Andrew and Tristan Tate?
It's a complete joke.
What do you think about the imprisonment of the Tate brothers?
I don't think it's actually pretty nice, but I actually started watching his YouTube and started working out every day.
What do you think of the imprisonment of
So
Andrew
that's somebody who
and-
got changed by, and that was one of the points I made during the video that we watched a couple of weeks ago. It was the question of, does the message that he put forth to young men about like working out and being better versions of themselves and everything else, does that get killed by this whole, imprisonment? Does it get killed off based on, whether he's done this, whether he's actually done what he's being charged for? I don't think that it's fair to actually take away the good portions of any message from any person due to the faults that they've had in life. Because look, some of the closest people do some dirty shit. Like, facts. That's facts. Let's just keep this going. That's a whole different thought.
and Tristan Tate?
It's wrong.
What? No, he's saying
Oh,
that
he don't
the
agree.
imprisonment is
Or
wrong.
she, whatever they are. Do you like crystals? Wait. What do you mean crystals? What do you mean crystals? Okay, are we talking about like crystal fuck no. You've answered my question there. Stones, no. You know why? Let me answer that after this. No, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I'm going to tell you exactly why. I swear I will come back to that question. I've had this conversation so many times now, especially in the last couple of months. It's not even funny. I'll explain why, though. I promise. Remind me.
Why? He did a lot of bad stuff. I think it's a good thing if he did that kind of stuff.
What? So you want women to be
No!
What do you say?
Oh, oh, I got confused by that too. I was like, wait a minute, cuz. What?
I wasn't saying that, but I think it's wrong what he did.
What do you guys think?
But that's the problem, is that you don't know whether he did it or not. Okay. Now I see what you're saying, Nina. Okay. The look, you just like the way they look, which is why I collect. Okay. All right. The look of them, yes. Since I was a kid, I've always liked, stones and things of that matter. Like, I just got home. What I missed? You missed a lot. We just watched a video on a just $39 million mansion. No. Let me correct myself. Just $39 million penthouse. A fucking apartment that was $39 million, bruh. Like, it had me, nah, whatever. But, okay, so, crystals, for the look of them, things like that, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. Stones that, like, you look in there and you see, like, the crystals that have formed over the millennia, or, that they have been out in the hot sun. Like, things of that nature, yes. People who use crystals in this whole, like, this is my spiritual, like, rich, bro, I swear to you. And you know what? People gonna feel some kind of way about me saying this. Bring it on if you want to. We can discuss this at some point. If you sit here and tell me that you use crystals and fucking what's it called? The star signs and all of these different things in order to dictate the way that you move on a daily basis, you are an illogical, idiotic creature. Period. And what really disgusts me is that so many people look at it, and instead of taking it for what it was actually meant to be, things like the tarot and so on and so forth. Do I believe that fuck that. I'm not even going that route. Things like the tarot and everything else, and star signs and crystals that dictate your life are more used as a crutch than the purpose that they were actually created, which was to be a means of entertainment. And I understand the history behind it 1,000% for numerous reasons. It just disgusts me when people think that I can take this crystal and rub it all over my body and set it on my forehead and lay down and pray to said crystal and believe that somehow it's going to fix all of their freaking problems. It blows my goddamn mind. But more than anything, people use it as a crutch to go ahead and, dismiss their own bad behavior. It's disgusting. And at the same time, these are individuals who, if you ask them, are you religious? When I see this conflict happen right here, this really gets me. Are you religious? Yes, I'm a Christian, or I'm a Catholic, or blah, blah, blah. How the fuck are you praising crystals then? Isn't that 100% anything and everything that you stand for when it comes to your religious beliefs? I don't know. Wow. Sorry. That's fine. I saw a video of a villa that's worth $630 million. We watched one about a villa that was around that amount too. No. This that damn penthouse, that was not worth $39 million. I'm sorry. But then again, you have to look at where it was at too, which of course New York, square footage, space, and all that stuff kind of works in the same way that it does over in Japan, like space, square footage costs a shit ton more in those cities. That's something I didn't bring up during that video. I think one of those mind things, if you think it works, then it does what you think it does. But that's the thing. The reality of it is that putting putting actual effort behind that sort of thing is what makes a reality, I think, a great deal more in times. Some people have, I guess, for lack of a better term, luck in, right place, right time. It's not, everyone doesn't have that. Not just that, but no matter how much you put stock in things like that, if you're not willing to work towards whatever goal it is you have, the reality is you're more than likely not going to achieve it. And then at some point in time, you also have to look at the fact that everyone's chasing after kind of the same exact thing. People who use, those ideals or crystals and everything else. I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to manifest that. I want you to manifest me fucking $1 billion real quick. Let's see how well that works. All right? Let's just be honest about it. It don't work like that. The reality is that 1 to 2% of people in the States and essentially almost the world abroad will get to live a certain lifestyle. And no matter how much you pray to said crystal or worship said crystal or anything else, it's just not feasible. I don't know. Especially if you're not working your ass off to get there too. I saw the hydrate. Times 2. There. All right. So yeah, let's keep this going here.
About the imprisonment of the Tate brothers.
I think it's pretty fair because they've done a lot of things. It's pretty fucked up. I know people who like say they changed their lives or something like that, but I don't watch them.
Do you think they actually...
And you think that's a good enough, but that's the thing. You don't watch them, but these people did, and it did change their lives, potentially for the better, because they had some form of idea of where motivation, or they got some form of motivation from the ideas that were put forth. But you're not looking at it. If you don't watch them, are you watching the news and the media and everything else to understand exactly what they're being detained for? And also, are you looking at the counterclaims that are being made by individuals who are said to be victims, even though they're coming forth and saying that they're not victims? So it's like you're not seemingly as well informed as you should be to even answer that question, but yet you think it's a good thing.
Actually did what they are alleged to have done.
Andrew Tate, I think he's like pretty sexist.
I thought we were going to say sexy.
No, no.
Okay.
He's not my type.
Okay, what is your type? You are not a lot of motherfuckers' types either. I swear to God. But I think he's really sexist. You think. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna let that slide.
What do you think of the imprisonment of Andrew and Tristan Tate?
Well, I think he was right when he said that it was the second thing that they're going to do to him. And as we saw in the first place, it was all a scheme and it was proven that it was not true. I hope he'll get released though.
What do you think about the imprisonment?
He's not lying. He did say that that was going to happen to him. He did say that. And he also said the third potential thing that's going to happen. He said something, what was it? He made some video or posted something like that. If I disappear, then you all know who killed me. Like essentially saying like they're going to come after him and, you know, knock him off. But he did not lie in saying that Tate said that. He said that they are going to come after me and try and imprison me. Even though it was initially proven that the claim that was made was false. She must want a man as big and round as she is. Hey, bruh, I can guarantee you she don't. Look, bruh, it's so fucking, no. You know what? You might be right. But I can almost guarantee you, nah. Type of man that she don't want her.
Of the Tate Brothers.
I don't want to be mean, but I really don't like them. I'm so proud that they're imprisoned right now.
It's an evil world we live in.
It's a cold motherfucker.
I don't agree with what they're saying. I think it's a level of misogynistic that I can just not comprehend with.
Shut the fuck up. I'ma say it now. Shut the fuck up. Get up out of here. Here's why. Look, your first statement is, I don't like them. Okay, let me stop. I'll hit accents all day. Let's let her say that one more again. All right. Let's let her say that one more again.
Of the Tate Brothers.
I don't want to be mean, but I really don't like them.
I really don't like them. All right.
So proud that they're imprisoned right now.
I'm so proud that they're in prison right now. All right.
It's an evil world we live in.
I don't agree with what they're saying. I think it's a level of misogynistic that
I don't agree with what they're saying. I think it's a level of misogynistic. Listen, bitch. Listen. Let me say it for you, right? Let me say this real quick. Your feelings don't fucking matter when it comes to the law, shawty. You happy because you don't like what someone said. That's the problem that we stand in this fucking world right now. People don't like what someone says, and so they get a hair up their ass, and instead of coming with a better point of view, lock them up, cancel them, shut them down, because I don't like them. I don't like what they say. If you know what misogynistic means, I'm tired of people using this term. I'm so tired of people using that term. Tired of it. Without actually having a true definition or understanding the true definition of that word. The hatred of the female species. That's what misogyny is. Now, I don't know them personally. I only know what I've seen as far as the things that they've said. I know what I've seen as far as the, again, alleged investigation that's going on. All right? I know what I've seen as far as the alleged evidence. Okay. The take on this that I'm gonna take, some people are not gonna fucking like at all. And do I care? No. I'm saying something here, and if you want to dispute it, go ahead, do so. We can run that. All right. I'm not saying they did it. I'm not saying they didn't do it. What I am going to say is that They were running a business, and as I said before, they didn't go through the proper means. They were trying to, evade taxes, potentially, allegedly, yet again. When it comes down to it, based on the things that Andrew said himself, they didn't set up the business properly. But if it had been a properly set up business and the women went in with the knowledge of what they were doing, guess what? Even if it wasn't a properly set up business, the women still went in with the same knowledge of what it is that they were going to be doing when they were working. All right? You made the choice to do so. The one girl in the quick little clip that we watched from the Vice, whatever the hell you want to call it, report, even said herself, I saw the money coming in and it was so good. Motherfuckers will do things for money, which is why we even have a sex industry at all. At all. Mia Khalifa. How many videos have we watched on her? And what does she say every single time? I wanted the attention. And so I got into the industry and I was getting so much of it. And then I started making the money. The other one, I forget what the hell her name is. Little bitty one who had her own podcast and everything else for a while. I don't know if it's even still around or not. Same exact thing. I wanted the attention and I made a shit ton of money while doing it. And then all of a sudden in the end, that's when the holy shit slaps him in the face and it all starts pouring out that I don't want to be known for that anymore. And so what do? They bash the industries that they were working in. They come off saying that people were making them do certain things and it can easily be proven that they were not, especially considering those companies that they worked for had contracts signed by them asking them the types of things they wanted to do, all these other different things that come into play. But then they want the sympathy and everything else because something else is going on in their lives. They want to be able to be married or X, Y, and Z. So they don't want to any longer take accountability for the actions that they actually put on themselves. Same exact thing goes in this situation. These guys are being looked at as the biggest. Andrew Tate himself is one of the most well-known names the world over. And again, I'm not saying they did or didn't do it, but the reality is that people will backtrack and say things in order to get their 15 minutes of fame, put themselves in the spotlight, no matter how fucked up of a thing that it is that they're saying. Doesn't matter. They will accuse people of absolutely anything. But the reality of it is you stepped into that world knowing what the world was, but no one wants to make them take any form of accountability. It's feel bad for them. And then you get individuals like this who come off saying that I don't like them because of the things that they've said or because of what they see without taking a realization that, guess what? Those people also made the choice in doing that job. Now, if it were a thing that they were locking the females up, if it were a thing that they were like beating it or making them do like all these other things, I get that. But you don't even have the facts to make that statement. But to make it so much worse, just because you don't like what someone says, you want to condemn them. That is ridiculous. Stupid. Her nose piercing is too low in her nose. You notice stuff like that. Like, what the fuck?
I can just not comprehend it.
I don't know, many people are happy about it, but I don't like involve myself in political stuff like this.
I'm happy they're not here.
Do you think
I'm happy they're not here? She just had to get something else said. I'm happy they're not here. Like, it's so crazy. Your hatred is that strong. You just want to see someone condemned. It's insane. Insane. That right there, how do you feel about all men? Do you feel the same about all men? Because then we could easily say you're a misandrist at that point.
Do you think it's true what they say about them, that they sex traffic in women? That's why they're in prison.
Yeah, most probably, because if that thing wasn't true, they would probably not be imprisoned.
Wrong. Wrong. I'm glad he asked her. Most probably true. Most probably true. You're going off of your emotion at that point in time. That's all she has to go off of. Legitimately, her emotion of how much she holds disdain for him. You wouldn't be in prison in that point in time. Well, guess what, ma'am? Let me tell you about a group of individuals who were wrongfully imprisoned. Let me tell you about people who have been, imprisoned for rape, okay? For sexual misconduct, things of that nature that were wrongfully imprisoned. It happens. And not just that, they're not in prison, ma'am. They're on a 30-day hold while the prosecution and the police look for evidence in order to imprison them. The words people use. What's good, Straps? How you doing tonight?
What do you think of the imprisonment of Andrew Tate?
And they're using the wrong
Tate?
road
There are
at this
not
point.
enough evidence to imprison him. I do have a negative feeling towards them, but this is not enough to
Put someone in prison.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. What? That was about the most logical thing I've heard so far. Shawty just said it best. She don't even like him. But there's not enough evidence or reasoning to actually put them in jail or to be in prison. If we're going to use that word, I guess, tonight, that's what we're using, imprisoning. Okay? She's not wrong. That was about the most logical thing right there. And that's coming from someone that doesn't like them. That was like complete polar opposites there as far as the logic behind it. The other girl didn't like them and felt that it was okay for them to be locked up just because. I mean, her own emotional feelings is what actually put her in that position. The other one doesn't like them, but she knows clearly there's not enough evidence. Again, keeping account. I don't know whether they did the shit or not. That's for the evidence to prove, to decide. But the bottom line to it is, how can you be happy about someone being locked up without any real evidence? I mean, hell, if that happened to your family member, what would you think? If that happened to you, what would you think at that point in time? Try to play some Ford later, bro. Yeah, we will be on after this video.
For all of you guys wondering, what is this black guy and this German guy doing asking people in Romania questions? Well, we're actually students in this lovely country, and if you want to get a place to study medicine or dentistry in your...
No. What? No ads, sir. Only I do ads on my channel.
Yes.
You like them?
No.
You like them?
Me neither.
No? What do you think about their sending to prison?
It was a good choice.
Fair.
Why?
I mean, if they find the people in their houses, it's fair.
What do you guys think of the imprisonment of Andrew Tate?
Thank God, I guess.
Yeah?
He is a human trafficker. Of course, that's a good thing.
And this is also the problem right here with the way that things can be put out so easily through social media. You automatically label someone something that is very detrimental to their lives, to their livelihood. I mean, for them, even coming out of this, it's one of those situations, if it's found that there was nothing there, they're not guilty of it, they're going to live their lives. They're going to have all the different things, that they've had throughout their lives, that they've worked for, everything else. But that label following you is something just absolutely, it's insane. It's insane. Because there's always going to be those naysayers, especially the ones that don't like you, just to say, oh no, they did that. They just got away with it. And that's the problem. People cannot remove themselves from their own emotions. Let's see, W Stream. Hey, thank you, Straps. Bruh, the talk so differently on there. I don't let the Blames 3s on as if you're trying to run it sometimes. I do not, I don't think I have that anymore.
The evidence was there a long time ago. They just needed to catch him, so I don't know why people are debating. I'm just glad he got caught. And there's been a lot of reports by authorities teachers about his influence on the young generation of boys.
That has nothing to do with it. Yet again, nothing to do with it. The influence on the young generation of boys has nothing to do with it. And the influence that he's been making is making boys grow up to be actual men. I'm going to say something right now. I saw something earlier that blew my mind. And everybody's like questioning, like, oh my God, how could this be the case? How could that be the case? I watched a dude in a fucking crop top, okay? The nigga was wearing a crop top and some skinny jeans, get on a railway and just completely assault a woman. There was another group of about 15 to 20 dudes sitting there who just sat by and watched it happen. And it's one of those situations that the problem with her statement is that all these people, what they're saying about him is that it's promoting toxic masculinity to young men. Well, let me explain something to you all. Toxic masculinity is not what these people are fucking saying it is. But guess what? Toxic masculinity, that's a goddamn tongue twister. You say it too goddamn fast. But it is necessary in certain instances because the people that are going to come and save your ass when you in some shit are toxic males, typically. The men who gonna come and put that fire out and save your ass from that burning building. The person who's gonna come and stop somebody from beating your ass and breaking into your spot and robbing you of all of your shit is more than likely gonna be a toxically masculine male. And I'm tired of people sitting here saying that masculinity in and of itself is toxic. It's ridiculous. There's no way that woman that was on that railway who was getting harassed in the way that she was, that all of those men who sat there didn't get up and make some form of a move. But guess what? They're being told by the media, by teachers, by other individuals throughout society that being a man in and of itself is wrong because your masculinity, which you are supposed to uphold, and I know a great deal of women who would say, if I'm dating somebody, I want a man, not a bitch. 100%. That which you're supposed to uphold is being snatched away from you. So, of course, they're going to sit there and look and say, well, you know what? Why the hell should I interject in this situation? Because there's a very high possibility that I'm going to get charged with something because everyone's saying that me standing up and being a man in and of itself is wrong. Shawty, come on, bruh. You don't have to like them, but don't sit here and say this type of dumb shit. Exactly, bro. There's one girl on Facebook I got to be about Andrew Tate. You know, here's the thing. Getting into a beef with people about it is kind of like, what's the purpose? We don't know the individual. What happens to him doesn't affect me by any means, whatever. We can say all of those things. But people want to discuss it, need to learn how to actually discuss it and stand within some kind of bounds of logic when they discuss these types of things. This is the problem that I'm seeing here, is that it's showing just how asinine individuals run through life. Just because you feel emotional about something, just because you don't like individuals, you think it's okay for their lives to be snatched away from them and to make certain claims. You cannot say 100% for a fact at this moment in time that these things were done. There's more evidence to be shown in this instance. This is just stupid. I was shopping earlier at the grocery store and it took me 2 hours to get everything I needed and don't feel the food stamps came in. You know that feeling. Bruh, you know what? I don't even go to the damn grocery store anymore because I'm like, I just order everything. I just... Look, you said that you believe they should let him go. Look, they could let him go. They could, because I'm sure his passports have all been seized. He's not going to be able to leave the country without the authorities knowing while they do this investigation. But then again, it becomes a thing of, well, they have to look at it from, they're possibly looking at it from the point of view that they don't want the alleged victims to be intimidated by any means. They don't know what the reach of influence is by him. But the fact is, the reach of influence is always there. And if someone were going to go after the alleged victims, it would happen no matter what, whether they're there or not. If they had him on some form of house arrest and everything else, then yeah, that could work out. But I think it's more of a show of force, making some form of example, something like that, in order to be able to hold them, in jail for the 30-day period of time. Can that time frame be extended? I believe through Romanian law, it can be extended beyond the 30 days. I want to say, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this on YouTube or on Twitch, whichever, leave it in the comments, let me know. But I believe they can be held for up to 6 months by the end of it all, which then, of course, it goes into the account of, do you go through with the trial or whatever? And if you go through with the trial, then you can be hit with time served, whatever the case may be, whether they go to prison or they're released from that point, who knows? One of the things I made very clear and apparent during the watching of that other video was that where they really fuck up, if they're using his words against him, it becomes the whole tax fraud situation. That's where they got him on something. Do you think they're going to look at it like Scotch 69? They let him go, but he couldn't leave Brooklyn. It's the trials and tribulations. Well, I don't know. There's a very high possibility that that's the case. If they do let him out after the 30 days, he could be released, and then he'd have to stay in Romania, period, in Bucharest. I believe that's where they were based out of. So that could be a possibility.
What do you guys think about the imprisonment of the Tate brothers?
I have a friend, and this is like live and direct to no type of shit. She's transgender.
Yeah.
And she used to with the other brother, not Tristan, yeah. She said that they started with OnlyFans and video chat. Thinking about that, they might have, been doing what they say they're doing.
In your heart of hearts, do you think that they did that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
100%.
What do you think of the...
I don't know what his point was there. I love that. People say a lot of shit, but you know what? Let's take it as though he's being truthful about that. He said, hell no. Yo, that's one of the moments of like, hey, yo, what the fuck? That is that moment right there. Bruh. Okay, listen. Let's take it as though he were being honest in what he just said. All you just said is that they started an OnlyFans and a whatever the hell, essentially camming after. There's nothing illegal in that, in the effect of it's being run as a business. There's nothing illegal within that. So, I don't know what he was getting at. OW2. Oh, you're going on right now? Okay. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm lost in what he was trying to say. I don't know. And
imprisonment of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate.
I heard he was imprisoned because of human trafficking. I don't know what he did, but I hope he will be released soon. I think he's a great man. He's a great personality. Yeah. I like him.
How about you?
I don't like him very much.
Okay.
I think he's a misogynistic person with a misogynistic perspective, and I heard there's some evidence against him, and if that's true, I really hope he goes to jail.
What do you guys
But why do you hope he goes to jail? Do you hope it's because of the evidence, or do you hope it's based on your feelings of and what you think of him? That's the question right there. It's like, it's so, I don't know. I'm not gonna go any farther with this video. There's another 5 minutes, and I keep pausing it because of having to comment on what these individuals are saying. What this actually broke down for me in the first couple minutes when I thought about watching this video here on stream with you guys was that it really proves just how little people think. It really proves just how ridiculous they are in a great deal of their thoughts. To be able to say that someone is guilty because of your feelings towards them, as far as you disliking them, is horrible. To say that someone should be in prison, that their life should be taken from them because of your feelings, again, ridiculous. Let the evidence be the thing that stands. Let the evidence be the thing that shows that they are guilty. Let that be the reason why you make the points that you make when being asked a very specific and direct question. Do you think they are guilty? Do you think they should be imprisoned? Based on what you've seen as far as evidence, not your own personal fucking feelings. And it goes back again to show that this is exactly where, you know, people stand as far as cancel culture. People cannot take that their viewpoints don't mesh with others. A lot of times people can't take what the reality of things are, and of course end up turning around and saying, I hate this individual, cancel them, lock them up, all because you think you're right. It's just the same as the argument with individuals who say that, you know, making a transition from one sex to another makes you that other sex. There's real hard evidence to go against that and to say that that's not the reality of the world, but because you don't like it, you want to cancel them. Like, it's craziness. But when it comes to the law, it makes it so much worse. Because if people like this are the type that actually sit on juries, holy shit. Evidence doesn't mean a thing. The law in and of itself is out the fucking window. And that's just the reality of it. I hate to put it that way, but that truly is it. Because your bias and your hatred actually stands to derail a system that, I mean, in and of itself, we can all say doesn't work that great, you know, to begin with. But if you have any real belief and like hope in it, well, individuals like this absolutely do derail that form of a system, that form of structure. And it's kind of disgusting. That's just my thought on it. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments on YouTube, in the chat here. Bruh, I don't know, but this is like a complete breakdown in society and a complete breakdown in the mindset of individuals as a whole. People cannot take an opposing view without going to such extremes as to say that, hey, I want to see this individual's life ruined. Tell me if I'm wrong. They brought back the red knight at the item shop, Deadeye Skin. Okay, so, all right, Nina, I see what you did. Nina picked the game, and she used her points for it. So we will be on Overwatch 2 for at least an hour, all right? Now, before I hop over to gaming, I do have to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. And before even doing that, please remember, go ahead and download and play Marvel Strike Force. All right, go ahead. You can download it with the link that's in the actual description on YouTube and that keeps popping up here on Twitch. Absolutely free game for you to play. Has all sorts of PvP elements to it, plus a campaign, and it is a action RPG with all of your favorite Marvel superheroes and villains in it. All right, play Marvel Strike Force on both iOS and Android devices, and if you play during the month of January and you use my link and reach level 10, and also if you play for 7 days in a row, you will get exclusive characters like Cyclops, Ironhide, Spider-Man, all of your favorite characters right there in Marvel Strike Force. All right, go ahead and download that today. Help your boy the Shell Bullet out to build up the stream. That's how you can do it right there. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll leave you with some music. And yeah, I'll see you then. Yes, you can, Deadlock. If you want to join on there, let me go ahead and get switched up. I'll be back in a couple minutes.